If you're new to the crypto space like me, it can be super confusing how to get started. Based on my limited experience, the easiest way to buy and sell cryptocurrencies is by using Coinbase.com. It works just like your brokerage account. This is actually my portfolio right here we're taking a look at. I've deposited 900 of my own dollars into it. We've already seen some nice little returns. My largest position is Solana. I put $250 into Solana. Each coin is valued at roughly $240. And in today's video, we're going to outline why and how Solana could exceed Ethereum in value. Disclosure, I do own $150 worth of Ethereum. Each coin is valued at roughly $4,650 at the time of this recording. Could you imagine the returns if Solana exceeds Ethereum in value? We have the business case outlined in today's video. If you don't already have exposure to cryptocurrency and you're looking to start investing, check out my free link in the comment down below. Just like on my last video, all you got to do is click on the link, and if you deposit $100 into your Coinbase account, you and I each get $10 free worth of Bitcoin. That's an instant 10% return for you. All you have to do is go click the link in the description below. I by no means am an expert on crypto. I just got into the space. One of my favorite podcasts that I like to listen to, because I'm always educating myself on what does this all mean and how could it benefit me and my finances. The All In podcast, I'm a devout listener. I listen to once a week. They talk about all things tech, business, politics. Four super smart, successful guys. We're going to listen to a 3-minute clip from them talking about the business case of Solana because they've invested a lot more time into the research. If you're invested in crypto, you're looking to get invested, make sure to leave a like on this video below. Subscribe for more crypto and software sales related videos, and I'll see you on the other side of the clip. Enjoy.
There's basically a battle for the hearts and minds of developers going on right now between Solana and Ethereum. That's why Solana has raced up to, over 200. I don't know what, like 7,000% increase or something incredible like that. The reason is because Solana as a blockchain gives confirmations back in something like 400 milliseconds, whereas Ethereum takes, minutes. And, a transaction that might cost tens of dollars, 10, 20, 30, $50 of gas on Ethereum costs pennies on Solana. And so that's the advantage. Yeah, exactly. It's also, a lot of developers feel like the developer tools that they've created are easier than building on Solidity. The thing that Solana gives up, the trade-off that it makes is decentralization. There's basically that transactions are processed by 20 validators and they're a top 20 based on holdings of Sol. So it's kind of like this proof of stake model. So anyway, there's some trade-offs there. I can tell you that it's the view of, our friends at Multicoin. And, I heard a lot of this view at the conference, although obviously you have to take it with a grain of salt because these are the biggest believers. But their view is that Solana over the next year will flip Ethereum based on developer activity, that there's real companies being created.
We spend a lot of time actually before we do anything that's the only thing we've been looking at, and Syndica, Fractal, a lot of the stuff that we've done, DeSo, is purely driven by developer interest. When we see developers in the open source ecosystem building things on top of this stuff, making stuff that's composable and usable by other people and building infrastructure, we don't really second guess that because they are spending the most important currency, which is not monetary capital, but human capital.
Yeah, their time, their skill.
Their time and their skill and their reputation. They can apply to another project. Yeah. And so when enough developers, so I've always thought you just follow the developers, and as more and more projects get started, you just have to unemotionally support that. I think the writing is on the wall, which is Bitcoin is gold, Ethereum looks like it's trending to be silver, and Solana could be the first, but there will be others that come after it, of real developer ecosystems that can be built on top of it. The other thing that I would offer up to people for them to think about is, before you blindly go and rush into crypto, one way in which I try to think about these things is in the following way. You see these projects get started all the time, and I would view each of these projects as a mini economy and really try to think, what is the economic value of what's happening under the hood? So simple example, Helium is an interesting project that's trying to build a completely decentralized, 5G infrastructure, right? Render is a really interesting project that's trying to build a completely decentralized, graphical processing infrastructure, right? GPUs essentially. In both of those things, you can quantifiably, economically measure what the value is that people get, right? In the case of Render, you're basically displacing an AWS instance. And so that has a price and a value. And so, for Render to be valuable, there's an economic value that it replaces. If you're joining a hotspot, that has an economic value where you necessarily have to pay, to get internet connectivity. If you all of a sudden are on the Helium network, that displaces a measurable economic quantum. Understanding that is probably, and taking the absolute value of that is the best way of really understanding which projects have potential. So if you take those two ideas and marry them together, where is their developer interest and where is their measurable economic activity? At the intersection of those, I think are the really compelling projects that can win.